think Richard is like, you have to imagine an alternative universe where Kamala Harris won the election.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's
Okay.
terrible already. Yeah.
All right. So just imagine what would have happened to Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
If Kamala Harris had won the election, right? Like, so imagine Kamala wins the election in both houses, broad mandate. Like, Elon Musk basically like has Twitter like banned. SpaceX gets nationalized. They pin Epstein, January 6th, and Russia gate on him, right? And Elon Musk basically spends like the next like 4 years, basically, fighting legal battles, being labeled a Nazi, being the most hated man in the universe, um, and um, so, but he's still rich, right? He still has, hundreds of billions of dollars, right? But he's absolutely loathed and despised publicly by everybody. Everybody turns their back on him. All right, but he gets through it. He gets through his little legal problems. A new Republican gets elected, and um, and what does he do? He decides, you know what, to rehabilitate myself, I'm gonna start a new company, and I'm gonna give it a $1 million valuation. Would you would you want to invest in Elon Musk at that time? Well, if you're an average 80 IQ, Democrat, you probably wouldn't, because you'd say, Elon Musk is Hitler. He's responsible for Epstein. He tried to get Trump elected. But if you're a smart guy, you'd go, holy shit, no, this is Elon Musk, and this thing has a $1 million valuation. I'm gonna put some money to work here, right? And you know, Richard Hart is many things, but you could argue that he was basically the Elon Musk of, gamified altcoin. He literally had the best performing one in the world for a while, and
We got to what, number 3, I think?
knew how to make something pretty extraordinary. Built a massive community, and he's been completely disgraced for the past few years. Um, and his name's been dragged through the mud. He has no friends, um, and his own community has basically turned on him, and is now in complete disarray of butthurt. And here's Richard, basically going, "Hey, I'm going to do a new project," and yeah, like, I'm not going to tell you really anything about it. And the sacrifice has already started. You've got 20 days to decide if you want to get in. And like, I'm not really going to give you any reason to put any money into this. It's just going to sit there. And maybe I'll write some documents, and maybe I'll like make a video or something in a few days. Oh, by the way, the website's not up yet. Right. So it's like, to me, it's like, this guy doesn't want you to sacrifice. And
I mean, I
it's
think
almost,
if he puts out a pre-recorded video here in the next couple of days, I would have to think that has details on ProveX, and then maybe you would change your tune. I don't know, depending on what those details are.
I mean, maybe a little bit, but then you got to be fast, and then you got to be paying attention, right? Like, and you're not going to generate a lot of hype doing it that way, right? So people that are paying attention, and are available, and actually thinking about it. I mean, there's probably a whole lot of people that would have sacrificed for this, that'll probably not even know that the sacrifice happened, just because they haven't been paying attention,
Yeah.
right? Like, that, it hasn't gotten to them via their channels or their friends or whatever. So, to me, I look at this and I go, well, this is really interesting. I can get the Elon Musk of altcoins, or to base it at a valuation that is probably going to be, I don't know, like somewhere between 10 and 25 million. It would be my guess, right? Like that's what he ends up raising, maybe in the next kind of fortnight. you know, and it may be less than that, especially after today, right? So while I was always critical of Pulse and PulseX because he was raising hundreds and hundreds of millions, approaching $1 billion, this thing is the complete opposite. And I can only think that's because he's trying to create a very low hurdle for himself to have an easy win.